my fearless friends, trying to contain my enthusiasm once again because I have none other than my amazing spiritual mentor, Glenn Marsden. And I've promised him even a few minutes ago that I'll try to keep it short because what this man has done for me, for my life, has been beyond transformative at so many levels that I want to start with congratulating him because he has 5 books launched this year, and I'm the proud co-author of volume number 1. What a privilege, isn't it? Glenn, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us. And
Thank you for having me as normal.
it's such an amazing event right before the holidays to have someone that has been giving everyone so much wisdom that it's sometimes hard to believe how lucky are we to be in the Imperfectly Perfect campaign wonderful community. So, Glenn, please tell us, how has this year been for you with 5 books published, and what has inspired you to give so much to your community?
Well, let's just put it into context because there's a lot of work behind 5 books. Because some people would go 5 books in 1 year. I mean, that in its entirety, we started volume 1, which you rightly said, you're an inspirational co-author who stepped forward to share your story to inspire and encourage somebody out there to realize that they're not alone on their journey. And that, as I was just saying, in its entirety, took you guys through an 8-month process the year before, but did launch in January. My book, One Man's Mission to Redefine Imperfection, took what, 6 years in total. The children's book, that was a long time coming with my son. And then volume 2, obviously, that was the longevity of this year and then just launched December. It normally does coincide with volume 1 in the January start date, but we decided to try Christmas. Everybody wanted a Christmas launch. So we've got the event coming up in Sydney. The last one was in Hollywood. And look, this year's just been a whirlwind. And you've been a part of that year. And so many of the other community members, the co-authors. And that's what I want people to take away. It's like when they see my journey or they look, it's the analogy of the iceberg. You see the tip. You might see what the Imperfectly Perfect campaign has achieved. You might see the celebrities, the press, but I'm a straight shooter. You've got to know me for what, 2 years now since our first podcast. I'm the same on stage as I am off stage, as I am with voice notes. I lead by my heart, and I never want to change that. I lead by morals and integrity. I've often said maybe that's to my detriment, but I can put my head on a pillow at the end of the night and know that I've done good and been of service and I'm doing things the way that I was brought up and the way that I was raised. So, what I want the community or anybody listening to this to take away is if you just don't feel good enough or you're comparing yourself to somebody on social media and thinking, when's it my breakthrough? When do I get to do this? And then you're becoming in that zone of a little bit cynical. Like you're thinking everybody's just getting ahead of you and why is it never your turn? And it's not fair. Look, we're all on this unique journey called life. And the more and more, and Roxana, sorry, will pertain to listening to me say this all the time now. It's like, stop listening to Tom, Dick, and Harry on social media. You can't judge yourself or compare yourself to the next person because 99.9% of people putting things on social media are smoke and mirrors. It is a game. Now, there's probably 0.05% of people who go from zero to a hero very quick. But yeah, as we've seen with the lottery winners, people who really get this success really quick, it affects their mental health. It doesn't last long because they haven't gone through a process or been around the right people to help them navigate that journey. And it is a hard journey. This process I've been on, I've got to know a lot of successful people, whether entertainment, corporate space, personal development, sports, and I've learned so much. And what people see on an external point of view, thinking, oh, they've got the life, they're human, first and foremost. They go through every single struggle that we all do. Now, if you think that they've got it easy and they are in the spotlight and they're getting judgment placed on them, they can't say anything, they have no one to talk to a lot of the times because they think, oh, I shouldn't be ungrateful. I've got this, I've got that, I've got that. We're human. We all struggle. And as I like to say, people are not looking for perfection. They're craving authenticity.
Wow, Glenn, this is just amazing listening to you pour so much wisdom. And I was thinking, how grateful am I since the 26th of May of 2022, since I was crying my eyes out because you have said some things back then that have really touched my heart so deep. And it got me thinking, wow, this must have happened a million years ago because this is how much I feel like I have grown since then. I look at myself many times in the mirror and I think, wow, I'm so happy. And I got this thanks to you because I have gotten away from comparing myself with others, from needing this exterior validation that keeps us as victims. We are simply mere victims waiting for crumbs for the outside world to give us, when in fact, we will never settle when we are waiting for others to give us their go ahead. It's never going to be enough, is it? So, what you just said now, it got me thinking that when you compare yourself with yourself, you'll see some amazing mistakes which turn into lessons. And what a privilege it is to make mistakes, Glenn. And I wanted to ask you, so you have a lot of amazing books there. I began reading them, love them. So fortunate to have my hands on them. Of course, in the ebook format, but I have mine that's here on top of the shell book, which just reminds me what a healing process, what a transformative process writing this chapter in the book was. What would be a great lesson that you would want the people listening to us and hearing us to take in 2025? Let's take it from your book first, from One Man's Mission to Redefine Imperfection, and then from volume two because I can see that having other people's stories is also going to impact our community a lot. But let's start with your book. What's one thing that people would need to focus on from your amazing book?
Exactly what you said there, Roxana. It's learning that the failures and mistakes are going to be the making of you. I mean, what do you learn from success? Well, you get quick validation, as you said, external validation, and you feel great. You get that quick rush of excitement. And once it's gone, what have you learned? Whereas if you get knocked down, dust it off, get back up again. The next day, oh, I'm not going to do that again. You learn from each mistake. And as I often talk about when it comes to my videos and I share the wisdom, I say my little spiel at the beginning, and it's like I'm here to share some wisdom through the experiences that I've been through, the good, the bad, all in between, to hopefully encourage and inspire somebody out there to realize they've got all the potential, capabilities, and resources within themselves if they have a little bit of belief in themselves and they work on it each and every day, some faith, and put some daily, consistent, actionable steps in. I just really cannot say enough. Tap out of social media, post and go. Quite literally, whatever you're working on, whether it's a mission, whether it's a campaign, whether it's your product or your service, do your due diligence in terms of learning marketing and all the facets that you need. But don't spend time looking at other people's things because as soon as you see something that triggers you, it's going to send you into this habitual loop that you keep on going on and then feeling not good enough. Because we all know people behind the scenes. On an external, they can be posting that they're in the happiest marriage, they're in a relationship, and everything's couple goals. And yet behind them, you know them, and you're like, well, they're full of shit. Excuse my language, but they've told me that they hate each other, and yet their couple goals and win on social media. There's all these people who are saying they're 10x in businesses. Question people. Do your due diligence. It's one thing I ultimately say. If somebody is saying something that sounds too good to be true and your gut is telling you something's off, it normally is. If something's not 100%, and if someone's telling you they can 10x your business, question them. Which area of my business can you 10x? Do you mean marketing? Do you mean my team? Do you mean the strategy? Do you need What do you mean by 10x? And how are you going to do this? And literally, you're telling me you're making six, seven figures each and every month. Can we just have a call so you can open your bank account in front of me and I can see for the last 6 to 12 cumulative months that you are consistently making 6 to 12, six to whatever you're telling everybody on, like, people are too, I won't say scared, but they want to believe because they want this success and they want it fast. So they want you to think that everyone's got the answers for them. And unfortunately, this thing called life, nobody's got the answer for you. It really riles me each and every day that I sit there and I listen to people talking about manifestation and this is the way and that's the way, right? Skill set. You can acquire skills, you can learn, you can implement, you put the application in behind the theory, you become successful, right? It's a skill set. When it comes to life, no bugger has got life down pat. So if someone's telling you, I can teach you how to manifest this, that, and the other, and they're saying, this is your path and this is your spiritual ascension, and then they've got a spiritual ego because they think they know more than this and that, tap out. It's already making me breathless talking about all these people saying they've got the answers. And what have you learned? I'll just turn it on you, Roxana. Since we work together, the thing is where you came from and you've removed all that social media. You post, you go, you do your business, you get the clients, but has the clarity come more? I mean, have you opened space to actually enjoy your kid and your husband and your life?
God, what a great question. And I am so thankful that you asked me this because I wanted to leave this towards the end, but I think it's a great time to just tell people to have a conversation with you because I'm being really honest here, very genuine. I have not had such an amazing energy in my life ever. It's just because I have let go of my ego. The way that you really care about the person and you ask those questions, truly listening with your heart, just it makes everyone around you truly shine. I have not been more fulfilled. I am simply not obsessed with myself anymore because it's such a fine line. You know, I had the makeup thing. I was so scared about what everyone would say. I would be constantly judging myself. And it's normal to love yourself, like your daughter says. And I love that so much. It's so inspiring. I was even telling my daughter Isabel about this yesterday. But then it's another thing, it's at the opposite pole to be so obsessed with how you look, with how people see you, that you lose life. I'm so much more grounded and present. And as you said, I post and go. I no longer need this false comparison. I'm just not curious at all because what I have here in the present, flesh and bone, outside of social media, truly is nurturing me so much that I'm just loving my life. I've seen, and I think you know about this, so many studies showing that when we actually scroll, we are trying to avoid our emotions. We are
Yeah.
looking for something in our phone, in that small piece of plastic, something that we can get from the reality, from the world around us. This has shifted tremendously when I realized that everyone's filtering things. Nothing's real there anymore. Everything's curated. Of course, people want to look like they're so successful. But as you've been posting some amazing reels lately, and I've had such great fun with the guy with talking with the English accent, you know, I've made as much as the a normal UK person would be making in a year. I've made this last month.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Glenn, that these things are so obvious. But as you said, we want to believe that it's not going to take such a long time because as you always say, there's no shortcut. So it's a matter of living in the now and just making the best of the wonderful people that we have around us, our family. And you're such a great family guy. And I wanted to ask you before we go, because this has been beyond inspirational listening to you, Glenn. You have volume 3 coming up. So excited. Tell us about this and where can people sign to be with you, to be in your amazing presence and in this amazing Imperfectly Perfect campaign community?
Yes, so they can basically go to the official website, imperfectlyperfectcampaign.org or glennmarsden.com, and they can inquire, pull through the application. It is an application process because, as I said, I am somebody who calls a spade a spade. You aren't coming into it thinking, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit back and relax. There's a process. We get you going deep. We get those emotions coming up to evoke the best responses from you. And then we teach you how to leverage it through a group format. Now, in saying that, what I do want to say is when it comes to those podcasts, when you see people pertaining to have this success, the thing is, I always say, I'm not the right person to come to if that's what you're looking for, thinking it's going to be a 2 minute thing and I'm going to shine a light on you and it's all coming to you. There's too much of that on social media. And unfortunately, people are looking in the wrong direction. They're not looking at the Elon Musk, the Gary V's, Les Brown, world's #1 motivational speaker, all the top guys who very obviously speak how hard it is to build a business and make it sustainable. They're listening to everybody on social media. And the thing is, you can ask those people who still aren't where they are how many mentors they've had. And they've probably said around 5 to 6, and they've been screwed over and they've done this, that, and the other. And then you ask them, so what did you do? Well, I did their program. Okay, well, first and foremost, a program, right? How long was the program? Oh, it was 12 weeks, and that's all I could afford at the moment. And right, fair enough. But you're going for the quick wins. That's why a lot of them go from program to program to program and program and program and say nothing's working for them because they're not willing to work with one person that's done it, that's acquired it, that's got the reputation, the credibility. They might charge a little bit more, but you're going to get the results with them. So volume 3 is essentially a way that you get a return of investment immediately because you get a book, a tangible book alongside celebrities, which the reach to catapult your credibility goes out international. And then through the group, I do daily videos, I do talks, I catch up with people, I go above and beyond to talk about marketing, PR. How do you get yourself out there? Because you can be a part of a book, the book can finish. What are you going to do then? Oh, I've got my name in a book. That's great. What do I do now? You need the skills to understand how you can continue gaining attention. If there's one thing I'm good at doing is gaining attention, which is why the Imperfectly Perfect campaign has continued for over 6 years with a lot of celebrities and press. If you don't have that, then you're going to be back to square one. And we see all these people be, I can get you featured here, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, be a part of this. But they're not teaching them how to market and how to make something for longevity or sustainable. And they don't know what to do once it's finished. Whereas you guys, as you know, volume 2's here, you're still very much a part of the community in volume 2. Volume 3 starts in June, but people can inquire now and apply. You'll still be a part of it because you want to keep people growing with you.
This is wonderful to hear. And I have got to say that, yes, I agree with everything that you said because I was there. I was in volume #1. And I've got to thank God. I was so inspired to be in volume #1, to be a part of this amazing process because the healing that I have been through is exponential. It truly gets better and better. So I want to tell you, my fearless friends, watching us and listening to us, to please have a chat with Glenn if you're struggling. I just want to keep it very simple. So if you're struggling, it could mean that your ego is blinding you from seeing what's truly important in your life. Have a talk with Glenn. He will shed your ego off of you in a matter of minutes and be a part of volume #3. It's you writing history, it's you having your legacy out there so that everyone around you will get inspired. Because it's one thing to do therapy, of course, but it's a totally different thing having it public. Now, that's a whole new way of doing therapy, and I can guarantee because I was there. And yes, I'm proud of it. I'm very happy that I have had this amazing experience to be with such a caring soul. And Glenn, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart from being here with us today. What a privilege and an honor. And I want to thank you so much for all that you do for me, for us, for the community, and sending you the most amazing holiday season, sending you the wish to have the best time ever with your family and to simply keep on doing what you do best, which is elevating everyone around you. So God bless you and thank you so, so, so much.
Thank you. And let's just say to you, you've come a long way. You've done amazing things. Everybody who's listening, make sure you subscribe because you equally put a lot out there for people. And everybody, last message for you. Turn social media off over Christmas. Stop taking photos and then posting them so everybody else knows what you're doing for Christmas. Enjoy it with the people that are with you and be present and put your phones down. A leading psychologist has come out and said, even if you're at the table with your friends and your family and you have your phone present, even if it's turned over, it's showing to those people that are with you that your phone is more important than them. So move the bloody phones. Enjoy
I
it.
love it. Love it, Glenn. What an amazing, great advice to finish this wonderful talk. Thank you so much. And yes, please have a conversation with Glenn. You will thank me later and happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you.